Okay, hey everybody, Jay Nolan here. We're going to do a very, very awesome webinar today. Joining me is Dr. Jeff Wright from the Utah Valley Health Clinic. This is a RAIN product webinar. We're bringing this to you via Success by Seeds, our training team portal. We want to continue to bring you the best of the best. And man, to see what this gentleman has done in the short period that he's been with RAIN, it's just phenomenal to watch him in his medical practice on a day-by-day basis and seeing a continual flow of patients come through that clinic. I've literally been there, and to see the amount of RAIN product that they move literally by the pallets each and every week, it's just phenomenal. So a little background on Dr. Jeff Wright. Dr. Wright is a naturopathic doctor, completed his undergraduate studies in communications at Weber State University. He earned his medical degree from the National College of Natural Medicine in Portland, Oregon. He is a medical director at the Utah Valley Health Clinic in Provo, Utah. Now, Dr. Wright prefers to use natural therapies over pharmaceutical medications when possible. His practice encompasses clinical nutrition, herbs, homeopathy, physical medicine, physical therapy, natural childbirth, IV therapy, and minor surgery. He specializes in allergies, chronic fatigue, hypothyroidism, depression, anxiety, and chemical and environmental sensitivity. Dr. Wright is a member of the American Association of Naturopathic Physicians, the Utah Association of Naturopathic Physicians, and the Institute for Functional Medicine. He serves as a chairman of the Utah State Naturopathic Licensing Board and as a member of the Utah State Naturopathic Formulary Board. Dr. Wright, as we can tell, has a ton of credentials, and so I wanted to be able to bring him to you today to be able to share this important information with all of our RAIN partners around the world who want to get more information about our incredible RAIN product. So, Dr. Wright, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Dr. Wright, let's get started here with our webinar. You can just tell me how you want me to click through, but go ahead and we'll turn it over to you, and then I'll just interject when needed.
Sounds great. Well, I appreciate the wonderful, glowing introduction you've given me, Jay. One thing to just add to that is the most important thing for me is that people, my patients, improve and heal and get better. I am interested in them graduating. And so, go ahead and go to the next slide. One of the things that I have used in my office is many, many things over my practice. And I want to say that over the course of my life and prior to me being born, companies have been using different products and selling them to improve people's health. And over the past years, first we started with things with herbs and supplements, and we've had a lot of different improvements in technology, so essential oils and juices have hit the market, and they've all done a lot of good for people, and I've used them in my office. I've used and still use nutritional supplements, and because of the technology that's been created over the last 30, 40, 50 years, we have access to good, better, and best. And I use all of those in my office. I use them when appropriate and study them so I know how I can blend nutritional and herbal and homeopathic and superfoods with the best of the pharmaceutical medications. So one of the things that has completely changed the way I practice is seed-based products. They've completely revolutionized my office. And I would say, to give you an idea of how they revolutionized my office, they have decreased the number of supplements that I carry and sell by about 40%. That means I don't have about 40% of the products on my shelves because of seed-based products. I have been astounded by what they can do. Now, the seeds are something I've preached for quite a long time. I've always recommended people get essential fats from seeds and nutrition from seeds. And part of the reason is because seeds contain all the essential nutrients that is going to make a new plant. And seeds have a concentrated powerhouse of nutrition contained in that little seed. So seeds have maybe between 15 to 25% of, 15 to 25 times the concentrated nutrition of the plant. So if I was going to use an herb, if I were to use the seed from that same herb, it's going to be 15 to 25 times more concentrated in a smaller amount. Also, seeds contain all the things that you would need in your body. So we look at vitamins and minerals, they're concentrated minerals. They are going to have a stabilized form of the essential fatty acids. They're going to have protein, they're going to have fiber, and most importantly, they're going to have phytonutrients. Now, phytonutrients are not necessarily something that you need for life, but they are things that you need for health. So phytonutrients are things that are actually going to stimulate your body to be healthier, to help to stimulate your DNA to turn off the bad and to turn on the good. So if you want to have a quality life and have a great healthy life, something that all of us want, one of the key ingredients that you need to have in your body is concentrated phytonutrients. So in my office, because I have a reputation to keep, and I've worked very hard on my reputation is that before I'm going to make a recommendation to somebody, there are certain qualities, there's certain criteria that I must have in order to be able to truthfully tell a person, hey, this is a good quality product, this is something that I think is going to be beneficial for your long-term health. And so my products that I'll endorse must be top quality. So some of the things that I look for when I'm looking for a top quality product is I'm looking for certifications. I'm looking for the company that makes it to have certain quality certifications. For example, I expect those things to be pharmaceutical grade. So if a company comes to me and says, hey, we want you to sell our products, the first thing I'm looking at is, well, is your manufacturing plant a pharmaceutical grade manufacturing plant? And if they are, do they jump through the hoops to be able to have certain, go ahead and go to the next one, Jay. Does the pharmaceutical company or the company that's doing the manufacturing, do they do the criteria to be able to get certified in various groups? So one common one that you'll see advertised on TV, at least here in this country, is GMP, Good Manufacturing Practice. That means that the company is going to have a basic level of quality. That's a good start, but I also want the products to be GMO-free, and for many of my patients, I also want them to be gluten-free. In addition to that, they must be able to process it at low temperatures, because when you process a supplement at a high temperature, it's going to degrade the B vitamins. It's going to make the amino acids and the proteins and the oils unusable to the body. In fact, it may make those things toxic to the body. So you might see that it looks good on the label, but if it was processed at high heat, it's going to be a toxin, not just something that's going to be helpful for your body, and it will not be bioavailable, which means you're not going to get the results that you expect. Also, I prefer things that are processed without heat and without oxygen, because oxygen, over time, as it's stored, oxygen will degrade those nutrients that I'm expecting your body to be able to use. So while minerals will be probably just fine with oxygen, phytonutrients and vitamins will not be as stable in an oxygen-rich environment. So these are things that I require for my products, for them to be optimal for the patients that I see. Let's go on to the next one. Inflammation is a component of every single disease. And just if you were to do a Google search or a PubMed search, PubMed is the National Library of Sciences that has a lot of the research on it available. If you were to type inflammation, you're going to get more than 500,000 articles on inflammation and how those relate to disease. If you look at any disease, you're going to find that there is inflammation related to it. If you're looking at autoimmune disease, that's inflammation. If you're looking at diabetes and heart disease, which are two common diseases that people suffer from, inflammation is a part of that. But also other diseases like asthma and allergies, those have inflammation as a component. And one major reason why people are inflamed is because they have bad oils. The oils get in, and the body can't get rid of them, and then the body just runs badly because of these bad oils. Go on to the next one. So let's look at how you combat that. Well, Sol is a product that came into my office about just coming up under 3 years ago, and I've been astounded by the powerful results that it can do. In fact, it's one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories that I use. Now, when I use anti-inflammatories in the office, the first one I'll recommend, because I've seen such phenomenal results with it, is Sol. And not just because it has 3 of the most powerful anti-inflammatory seeds, which are black cumin, black raspberry, and grapeseed. It also has ribose, which helps to fuel the body and helps with energy production. And what I found is I've seen, for example, in balancing the immune system, I've seen people with autoimmune diseases where I was able to measure their autoantibodies, and they came down with this powerful super drink. But it wasn't that it was just anti-inflammatory. This is a food that helps to give the body what it needs so that the body can do what it needs to do. Also helps to combat free radicals. Now, free radicals are interesting things. They're something that our body runs on. Free radicals are things that our bodies require in order to make our bodies run. But when our body doesn't have the nutrients that it needs to utilize those free radicals, then they start to harm our cells, and then we start not functioning properly. Another issue is joint pain. I see a lot of people with arthritis and ligament and tendon trauma, and I find that using Sol in my practice as an anti-inflammatory, as a first therapeutic intervention, giving them food that is anti-inflammatory lowers their overall cellular burden of inflammation, and their symptoms improve. And then we can proceed with medications where needed, or they can proceed with lowering their medications where needed. Go to the next one. So black cumin seed. I have 800 plus studies that I've been looking at for black cumin seed. For black raspberry, grapeseed, and ribose. Overall, I probably have something to the 34,000 studies on those 4 ingredients, all by themselves. Together, there's some really great independent research that's been done on Sol specifically. And the independent research, go ahead. The independent research looked at the ORAC score. Now, the ORAC score is something that's used, touted in the industry to say, hey, ours is the best product ever. The ORAC score, to me, is one component of health. It's not the only component, but it is a component, so it's a good way to measure. And so if you're looking at the U.S. Department of Agriculture's recommendation of how many fruits and vegetables you should eat and what kind of antioxidant ability you should be getting, the 1 pouch of Sol gives you more than what you would need on a daily basis based on the USDA. Now that, to me, is the minimum standard, not the maximum standard. And so when I'm working with people trying to help their bodies to heal, one of the things that I'll recommend is you need to eat plenty of whole foods and vegetables. And to maximize that, I would encourage you and recommend to you to take 1 Sol. Now, in addition to that, the Sol has actually been shown to reduce cellular inflammation by 33%, and has also been shown to increase the stimulation of an enzyme called NRF2, NRF2, which it lowers is an anti-aging enzyme. But when you lower the cellular inflammation by 33%, you get exponential results in the rest of the body. When they tested it, they found that at the testing that they were using, they found no toxicity whatsoever at the concentrations they were testing. And what they also found, it was so powerful that Brunswick Labs, which is the world leader in nutritional testing, they actually asked to use Sol as their benchmark by which to compare everything else. Go to the next one. Rain's second product, Core. Quite frankly, this is my favorite product ever. And that's saying something because I've been looking at nutraceutical products for pretty much my entire life. I grew up taking pills. I grew up with my mother, bless her heart, giving me supplements to help me to stay healthy and help me to get over problems. And Core is probably my single most favorite product ever produced because it is rich in nutrients. And because it actually is rich in some of my favorite herbs. So there are 3 seeds in Core. Black cumin, again, powerful anti-inflammatory, but very powerful in many other areas of the body. Milk thistle, my favorite herb for the liver. Cranberry, my favorite herb for the kidneys. But it also has other nourishing things in it. For example, it has kale and chlorella and spirulina, wheatgrass, dandelion, aloe vera, and chlorophyll, and I'll go back over those. But each of these things are powerful nutrients that help the body to work better. Now, specifically, core is working on nourishing the body, so you're getting more than, for the fruits and vegetables, you're getting just about 3 times in 2 packets of core, you're getting about 3 times what your body might need on a daily basis. And if you add that to a regular diet, you actually can help to start improving body function, which has the potential to help reverse disease. Now, when I compare, and one of the reasons why it's one of my most favorite products is if I were to compare that to green drinks, and I've been using green drinks forever, whether it's green drink in a liquid or green drink in a powder, in my testing and in my estimation, my experience, I would say that core, and I would say 1 packet of core, not 2. In this estimation, I would say 1 packet of core gives between 7 and 15 times more nutrient power to your body than the other powdered green drinks and liquid green drinks that I've found. Now, core also has, in this research, they found that it was a 61% decrease in cellular immune support, which means it helps to downregulate leukotrienes and interleukins, which are chemicals that help the body to be inflamed and heal. But when they're too much, they actually can cause problems. It also helps to modify the Th1, Th2 response. The Th2 is an immune system that increases the allergic response. The core is actually 67% higher in PACs, which are what are called proanthocyanidins. Now, proanthocyanidins are antioxidants that slow aging, they protect the DNA, and they protect cells from damage. Okay, now you can go on. Moving on to Form. Form is the next great powerhouse from Rain International. And when Form came out, I thought, okay, wow, this is going to be fun to work with because I use protein powders as partially a meal replacement. I use protein powders and protein supplements to give them to people who are muscle wasting or their bodies they're not growing. I use it in protein powders in kids who are not gaining weight. We call that failure to thrive. But Form has some other interesting things in it. Not only does it have 19 grams of protein from whole raw seeds, but Form also has raw cacao in it. And cacao, which is the precursor to cocoa, aka chocolate, is one of the highest antioxidant-containing seeds on the planet. That is why cocoa and chocolate, well, we like to taste too, but cocoa and cacao actually is one of the most powerful seeds on the planet for helping the body to heal. Now, raw cacao also has a thing called theobromine in it. Now, you might have heard of theobromine and heard that it's a slightly bitter cousin to caffeine or similar to a methylxanthine. Well, theobromine actually has some interesting therapeutic benefits. It actually helps to improve smooth muscles and helps them to relax. Well, when you relax smooth muscles, you actually get a dilating effect of blood vessels, which can have a positive effect on blood pressure and other vascular diseases. It can have a positive effect on headaches. And theobromine also can help to improve moods. So a lot of women will tell you that don't make them take away their chocolate, and it's because the chocolate, the theobromine in it, actually helps to improve moods. Now, interestingly enough, cacao also helps to inhibit tumor necrosis factor alpha, or TNF-alpha, which is an inflammatory compound. So 19 grams of protein from whole raw seeds. It's processed without heat. Go ahead, Jay. It's processed without heat, which makes these proteins more bioavailable for the body. And because these seeds, such Inca or Inchi, is known as Brazilian peanuts, very powerful and very rich in the branched chain amino acids, which actually help to heal your body. Now, when I say heal the body, protein can be used for two purposes. Your body can either use it for building structure, which is muscle, or it can use it for energy. And when you do something that's really rich in the branched chain amino acids, you actually get more of it to rebuilding or building muscle. Pumpkin seeds are rich in zinc. Chia seeds are rich in essential fatty acids. Cranberry seeds are also rich in fatty acids, but they're also rich in the proanthocyanidins, which are those modulators of helping to improve cells. The antioxidant activity of chia seeds is also higher than most other foods, even blueberries. And chia seeds also absorb water and help with satiety, which helps you to not be, or actually helps you to be full sooner, which in some cases can help with the weight loss. So, and also because form is processed without heat, the amino acids can get into the cellular body and improve overall health and improve how well your body can function with it. Go on to the next one. Oh, and the apricot seed and the grapefruit seed oil and the grape seed oil are all healthy oils, and apricot has improvement in helping your body to repair and helps the body to avoid some pretty terrible long-term diseases. So you kind of have to ask yourself, why would you want to do this? Well, one of the reasons why you'd want to do form is not just because it's a great supplement. It's not just a great nutrient product that's rich in fiber, but the protein, the fiber and the protein actually helps to add bulk to your stool, and the fiber actually gives your digestive tract an improvement and actually helps your digestive tract to exercise. Now also that fiber acts as a prebiotic, and a prebiotic is something that helps to support the flora. And I've given presentations in the past. One major effect in the digestive tract is the flora, and if you have a good healthy flora, it is actually going to help boost your immune system, calm down inflammation as kind of a side effect, and because of half of your nervous system lives in the gut, you can actually have favorable outcomes in your brain, and because 70% or so of your immune system lives in your digestive tract, the fiber supporting the flora actually can help have a balancing effect on the nervous system. So go ahead. So because the form is not just rich in protein, it also is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. And a lot of people take supplements of omega-3 fatty acids. They're taking fish oil, and there's a lot of research on fish oil. My preference is for them to eat fish and or take fish oil, but if they can get up to almost 900 milligrams of seed-based fatty acids, or at least omega-3 fatty acids, and almost 300 milligrams over the omega-6 fatty acids. These are the healthy ones that help with anti-inflammation. You're actually getting a supplement that crosses a lot of different other areas. Most protein powders do not have the omega-3s and omega-6s in them because they're not seed-based. So with these extra fats in there, you're actually, again, helping to heal the brain and helping to improve brain function, improving inflammation, improving overall health. And as these fats get into the cells, the cell membrane actually has fats in them. And when you improve the cell membrane, you improve signaling to the cell, and you make everything work better. Now, let's talk about the cell membrane just for a second. Oftentimes people think of the nucleus of the cell where the DNA is stored as the center of what controls the cell, but in reality the nucleus is more of a storage facility for the DNA to protect it. The real action of where the brain of the cell is happens at the cell membrane, and so as you add these healthy oils and healthy fats to that cell membrane, you get a long-term improvement in how well that cell works, which translates into a favorable outcome in long-term improvement in your bodies, everything and the way it works. Okay, go ahead. So here is an amino acid profile. You can see that it's rich. That's a lot of amino acids in a really good balanced formula for helping the body to heal. And it's all of the amino acids. And one of the problems with protein powders for comparison out there is they'll take some of these good things out there and out of the product and then resell them back to you in another form. But with Rain's product form, you're actually getting all of these things in, and you're getting a much higher quality product. Okay? So let's look at all of them together. Core, again, is my favorite. You've got black cumin, milk thistle, and cranberry. You've got kale, chlorella, spirulina, wheatgrass, dandelion, aloe vera, and chlorophyll. You've got the nutrients in there to help the liver to process and help the liver to detoxify. You've got the liver that's also helping you to make more blood and help to calm inflammation. And you've also got the liver helping to make healthy fats that are going to be transported out to the rest of the body. You've got the cranberry, which is going to help improve the kidney function. And those are the two major organs which are going to get rid of bad stuff and help to process good stuff. The next thing is they're going to improve excretion. Chlorella and spirulina, those are both actually have protein in them and are some bioavailable forms of plant-based protein, but they also have B12. And they also happen to act as a sponge to be able to absorb garbage that you might not want to absorb to help you to excrete it. Dandelion is one of the bitters. Wheatgrass, spirulina, and kale and chlorophyll actually are greens that nourish our body with magnesium and help our bodies to heal. Looking at a bit of research on these ingredients, I've got almost 4,700 studies on each of these ingredients. And these studies are things like helping to improve healthy aging and helping to improve liver health, helping to improve neurological health and support healthy aging. Sole, another favorite, helps to replenish the body and is anti-inflammatory. And with all the studies out there on showing that inflammation is a component of all the diseases, you're looking at specifically helping to improve blood sugar. For example, I've seen a number of my patients who, as they started nourishing their body with core and sole, their blood sugars came down fairly quickly. And I have to warn them that when they use these two products, that it's going to improve their body such that they're not going to need as many of their other medications. And I've seen blood sugars come down as much as 200 points. These products are going to help the body's cellular turnover, and so your body can get rid of dead or dying or broken cells. They're rich in healthy oils, and the research supports them showing that these seeds are actually rich in healthy oils. They actually are supportive in supporting healthy bacteria in the mouth and the digestive tract. These seeds actually are supportive with healthy hair and nails. And adding form to it, you're looking at improving the body's ability to rebuild itself, the building blocks. You're actually helping to put protein linkage inside the cell so the cell can be strong and supportive, also supporting the muscles and helping to strengthen. In form, I'm seeing some people who are deficient or who are not able to heal, and kids who have problems growing, and as they've been taking form, they've been able to gain weight, but it's not just unhealthy weight, it's helping to rebuild their muscle system, and they're actually starting to have good color to their skin, and their eyes are brighter, and their hair is healthier. I'm seeing people who use these three products for exercise, and it's improving. They're finding that their stamina is improved, and they have more energy after exercise, and it's building their bodies better. Recently, or earlier in 2016, Rain introduced their next product, which I have to say I've been fairly impressed with. Fused came onto the scene earlier this year. And Fused is one of the few, if not the only, coffee that I can endorse and recommend. And part of the reason is coffee, coffee by nature is fairly acidic, and a lot of my patients, they like their coffee, and it gives them an energy and helps their brains to work better, but it really kind of makes them feel more acidic. And what Rain has done is they've got a proprietary process that's patent pending that is actually where they've infused the coffee with extracts from some of these oils, grapeseed extract and grapefruit seed extract, and Ganoderma extract. Ganoderma is actually reishi mushroom, which is a superfood which helps to boost the immune system, pomegranate seed oil, and black cumin seed oil. And because the bean has been infused with these powerful seeds, it actually helps to take away the problems with coffee so that it is a powerful, healthier alternative. Helps to reduce acidity. Now, one of the reasons why I can endorse this product, Fused, is because it is organically grown. It is not grown, they do not use pesticides in it. And they also make sure that it's roasted and not burned, and they make sure that it's dried and not allowed to grow fungus and molds. And when then they take it and they allow the honeycomb, Jay was actually telling me this, he's quite an expert on coffees. He actually was telling me that coffee has kind of a honeycomb, and when you infuse it with things, it actually, the seed itself, bean, will actually absorb all these oils such that you can get a very powerful combination and synergy between these seeds and the coffee itself. So when people tell me that they drink coffee, I recommend them, I say, look, if you're going to drink coffee, I want you to drink Fused, because I know that it has these healthy seeds and these extracts of these oils, which are going to, number one, help to reduce the problems that coffee will have on their body, making it much more healthy. But number two, they're going to get some anti-inflammatory effects with the coffee. So the next thing is, when it reduces the acidity, you take that bean, and reducing the acidity is going to help people's brains to function. There's products out there that is mixed with coffee actually can help their brains to work better. Coffee has xanthines in it, which actually can improve the body and give people energy. So this coffee isn't instant. It's ground and it's gourmet. And my patients have raved about it. I have some patients who are using it have found that they have switched over completely to this product as their wake-up drink and as something that improves their overall health. So next, more recently, just a month ago, Rain released their next coffee, latte. And a lot of people drink their latte, and they like it because, well, there's sugar and all kinds of yummy stuff in there. Well, one of the problems that you're going to run in with coffee is you're getting a lot of extra calories that are not healthier. But Fused Latte actually has quite a few less calories in it. I think, what is it, Jay, 55 calories per cup?
55, which is half of what, as a matter of fact, is more than half, less than all of it.
I was going to say like a quarter.
Yeah.
My research was telling me that most lattes are between 175 and 300 calories per cup or so of latte, depending on what
you are right. You are correct.
And so, if you're drinking your calories, and I encourage people not to drink their calories because we have an epidemic of weight gain in our society, and no matter which countries you go to, you're seeing people heavier and heavier. And when you're putting all that juicy yumminess in that coffee, you might have to work that off, and most people aren't exercising enough to work off all those calories. So one of the beauties of Fused Latte is that it has natural things in it which are not going to add those extra calories to your waistline. There is a non-dairy creamer, which I'm pretty skeptical about those things, but this coconut-based creamer that Rain has come up with is pretty astounding. It's fat-free, and it also tastes good. Also, it's gluten-free. And so really people can have their taste and have their proverbial cake and drink it too. They can get their delicious latte in the morning without all of the extra calories that is going to go to their waist. And again, it's also infused with all that other good stuff. It's still infused with the black cumin and the Ganoderma and the grapefruit seed and the pomegranate seed and the black cumin oil, and the grapefruit seed extract. And another thing I wanted to tell you about pomegranate seed, pomegranate is one of my favorite things for helping arteries be healthy. So The next product that they just came out with, and I've been playing around with this one, but this is something that we're not seeing, that I didn't expect to see fast results on, but I wanted to report on 2 patients that I have who are using the next product, which is Reverie. Reverie is a 3-step facial cleansing system. It's a cleanser, an eye serum, and a moisturizer. And when I was looking at the ingredients in it, there's an awful lot of fine print in it, and usually when I go to products that are for facials and for makeups, I see all kinds of junk in there. I see all kinds of things that I have to go, well, we don't need that on our face. Our skin is our largest organ, and it is a major detoxification organ. And so when I see somebody with something on their skin, I start thinking their body's trying to clean something up. So when I saw the ingredients and looked over these ingredients for all these 3 products for Reverie, I went over it with a fine-tooth comb. Well, the first thing I looked at is, well, what's this EST8 molecule? Well, EST stands for encapsulated seed technology, and it's the eighth version. They actually wanted to release it a year ago, but they weren't able to release it because the product wasn't good enough yet. It didn't work well enough. Well, EST8 is a molecule that has plant enzymes in it, and it's on a liposomal delivery system. So those of you who know what liposomal means, it means it's a water-soluble compound in a fat-soluble delivery system. And the skin is made of mostly fat. So if you want to get something into the skin, not just on the skin, you need something that has a delivery system that is fat-soluble. Well, what they've taken is 2 of my favorite seeds and plants and harvested the stem cells. The stem cells actually have growth factors in them that make the body heal faster. Now, black cumin seed is a phenomenal anti-inflammatory, but also it's being researched for helping to heal body tissue. And comfrey is the other stem cell. Now, let me tell you a little bit about comfrey. Before I knew much about medicine, I knew about comfrey. One of my experiences with comfrey was when I was 23. I was in school. I went and got this little thing called a 2nd-degree sunburn on my shoulders. And after 2 days of misery and trying to go to school, putting a backpack on, I decided I needed to do something about it. So I went next door to the plant that happened to be growing there. It was comfrey. I ground it up into pulp, put it on, made a topical mess on top of my shoulders. But within about 6 hours, my sunburn was almost gone. So I became a very fast fan of comfrey, the plant. It is one of the most phenomenal plants for healing the body because it has compounds in it that actually help with cell growth. And so when you get the stem cells from comfrey, you're actually helping to stimulate cell growth and nourish those cells. So when I learned about the encapsulated seed technology, or the EST8, and they'd taken comfrey stem cells and black cumin and comfrey stem cells and put them in a delivery system that would actually help it to get inside the cell, inside the skin, I knew that this was going to be a big hit. But I still am a scientist and I like to see it. So I actually used it on 2 of my teenage patients. And quite frankly, they didn't see very much change in the first 2 weeks. But in the next 2 weeks, they've been using it 3 days shy of a month now. And in the last 2 weeks, or in the weeks 3 and 4, they were seeing no more cystic acne, no more blackheads, no more whiteheads, and their acne is nearly gone. And as an interesting side effect, one of those patients has eczema on her hands. It's called dyshidrotic eczema, and she gets itchy fingers. Well, the hand that she applies the Reverie with actually has no more eczema. So that was an interesting side effect. Now, as a doctor and as somebody who really cares about what we put on, in, and around our body, I looked for other stuff that might be a problem. Well, Reverie is paraben-free. Paraben is not your friend and not healthy, but it's in a lot of facial products. There are no synthetic ingredients. Sulfate is something that is actually a cancer-causing compound. And because it's dermatologist tested, I looked at everything and I found that it is, in my estimation, between, say, 95 and 98% natural. There's nothing in here that is toxic, and there are very few things that are even slightly toxic. I would say that this is one of the best products I've seen. It is very much in competition with some very powerful, very good products out there at a smaller price without a prescription. I have been in the month that I've had some patients using it. I've been very impressed with the results. Now, these two patients that I told you about that are using it for their acne, they're actually finding that it works better than all the competing products that they've used for the past 6 years, and it's giving them much better results in the last month than they've had using the products that they've been using over the past 6 years. Okay, go ahead. Here are some of the statistics that Reverie found prior to releasing it. After 8 weeks, they saw an improvement and less redness and bumps, an increase in hydration, an increase in skin elasticity. I'm actually seeing better than this in these two patients, but it's hard to measure. Okay, go ahead. Let's talk about seeds overall. The reason why I am a huge fan of seeds and seed products is because seeds are the concentrated source of all nutrition. Everything that we consume at some point came from a seed. And it is in its most bioavailable form, which means our bodies can use it, and our bodies can assimilate it, and our bodies can heal and be our best selves from it. In my professional practice, these seed-based products have been practice changing. Like I told you at the very beginning, I have found somewhere between 30 and 40% of the products that I used to use, I don't sell anymore. And that might seem like a bad thing, but it actually is easier for my staff to be able to keep track of what we have to sell. I've seen some patients come off of as many as $1,000 worth of supplements that they were taking on a monthly basis and brought that down to a digestive enzyme, the thyroid medication, and the seed-based products, Sol and Core. I've seen, but the thing that is most important to me is not just that it made my professional practice easier to keep track of, but the thing that's most important to me is that it has changed lives. My patients' lives are changing for the better. I have a patient who is a diabetic. We've been working on his diabetes, but after he started the Sol and Core, he started getting the ability to exercise, and he has lost weight, and his diabetes is improving, and he doesn't need as many medications. I've seen other people with autoimmune diseases symptomatically are improving. Their autoimmune diseases are improving, and they're not having to take as many medications. But more than that, more than just what they have to take, their lifestyle is improving. They're getting better results. They're able to spend more time with their families. They're feeling better so that they can live the life that they want to live. So I want to thank you all for listening to this. I am a huge fan of seed nutrition. It is, again, it's been practice-changing for me, and it's been life-changing for my patients.
This is powerful, Doc. You know, I sat back and I just want everybody to clearly understand, you know, what a privilege and an honor it is to be able to have a doctor here within Rain that's hands-on using these products every single day, that not only uses them in the practice, but, you know, Doc, you're a happily married man. How many children do you have, Doc?
I have 7.
7 children. Are these products a part of your household?
Yes. If I leave Sol out on the counter, it's gone before the end of the day.
So a box of Sol is gone. So you guys, I know, go through quite a bit.
That's not hurting anybody. But I love it, and I have to, you know, I say, okay, kids, I can't afford to give you 30 boxes of Sol per month.
This is wonderful. I mean, everybody think about what you hear. I know, Doc, you have so many great experiences with these products with your family, and you know, and what I want to do right now, I want to conclude this webinar portion as far as the recorded, and then we're going to go to a live question and answer just for a few minutes with Doc. So just give me 1 second here.